right. Okay, so we are live, and I've got a link up here for the Delta Green Street Team on Facebook, so I can check in with I think we have one or two people watching there that I can hear back from, so we can confirm if there's anything crazy happening on the technical side.
Cool.
There we go. All right.
Tell me when.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Cool. Welcome to And the Darkness Spoke Part 3. It is June 5th, 1986, in the very early morning after our agents have had a kind of horrific encounter at the local hotel in Jamaica. And we'll begin there. You guys retreated to another hotel across the Nassau County line and have settled in. It's dawn. Your beepers all go off at 6 in the morning. The number is for the New York Police Department based out of Springfield Gardens. You assume it has to do with the case and or your shootout.
Mm-hmm.
One or the other.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So how much? So we're at a diner now, or have we moved on past the diner?
I'm gonna guess you guys settled in for the night somewhere, unless you want to sleep in the car.
No.
Well, I mean, my face needs medical attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
If at all possible. Okay. So do we have?
No. Tygnal looked at it and cleaned it up, I believe.
Yeah, yes. but she said that if it didn't get treated properly, it's going to get horrible.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any kind of contact with the larger group at all? Like somebody that we can?
You have a dump number for the cell leader, but you have not used it, so you have no idea what it means. Like it could be a answering machine, it could be a person, it could be a mechanic shop.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I want to, pretty early in the process, I mean, after maybe even from the, if there's a payphone in that diner after we sort of, the worst of the shakes wear off and we're kind of starting to calm down and get our shit together, then I'd like to find a payphone and call that number.
Okay. So the phone it rings twice and is picked up. And on the far end, a voice says, "Yes."
Looking for a doctor's office. Somebody we can trust.
Give me a phone. We can reach you out in the next 25 minutes.
All right. I'll read off the number of the payphone.
Okay. So there's a dial tone.
Yep. Hang up.
Okay. Okay. So the phone rings 15 minutes later and says, "Do you have a pen?"
Yeah.
Okay. So Dwight Rudell, it says 33-year-old, pets and more, and then lists an address: 975 Sunrise Highway, so, Oceanside, New York, 11572.
All right. Thank you. Click.
Yeah. Hangs up.
Okay. So over the coffees and whatever else, so Alten and Greene were the ones that got a look at actually what happened that caused everybody to flip their shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Would you like
had her eyes closed resolutely, and I was looking
Yeah.
away.
Greene and Alten, do you want me to recap what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I vaguely recall, but you go ahead and give us the full imagery.
Sure. So something that you would characterize as exceedingly not normal happened. The world seemed to go flat for a moment, as if the dimensions collapsed in on themselves.
What, like 2D in front of us, like a page or something? Okay.
Yeah, and something large moving outside of your possibility of vision seemed to intersect on the fat man, lift him off the ground, and then tear him into pieces. But not before elements of his body changed scale at a very bizarre way. It wasn't like they were being inflated, like someone was pumping air in them. It was like they were receding in space. So his head seemed to get smaller and his body seemed to expand as this all went down. So it was very disconcerting to look at. You're sure the guy with the Mets cap saw all of it, and that's why he had his little breakdown.
Yep.
So I guess I'll look at the two of them and Tygnal and say, so what does that mean? What are we dealing with?
I have no idea. But one thing we have to deal with right now is these phone calls, and we need a cover story to tell the cops when we deal with them. Which I guess will be cracking.
I mean, I guess we were out interviewing people and interviewing one of those street gangs about the recent violence, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So can we spin that in some way towards it?
There's conveniently a bunch of crackheads there.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to ring back the number?
I'll let Greene ring back the police phone. The police.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll call them from the hotel phone, I guess.
Okay. So you're talking to Norma Woods, who's the detective second grade you met initially at the crime scene. And she says that Brooks, the deputy chief, wants you guys to come in and make a statement on what went down at the hotel.
Sure. Give us an address.
Yeah, she lists an address, but she doesn't sound inordinately surprised as to what happened.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So
it's all very matter of fact for her.
Okay, so I'll just say, does this kind of thing happen often that, drug dealing gangs attack federal agents?
They attack anyone.
Well,
so
we went to the disaster house, right?
No. I mean, you can talk to Brooks about that. We're running down leads. Beefsteak Charlie's, one of the victims was spotted there. We have two witnesses who say she got into a cab. So once you wrap with Brooks, she lists an address. Says we'll probably be there most of the day interviewing all the staff.
Right,
we could use some help.
Yeah, we'll meet up there afterwards.
So she hangs up. Yeah. So I mean, just an idea here, just to put this in perspective. In the previous summer here, it got so bad, the number of bodies, that they couldn't slab them locally. They had to move them out to Nassau County. So many people have been shot and killed in the ongoing drug wars here. So particularly in Far Rockaway. So these guys don't seem too surprised that someone took a shot at you, and finding a bunch of bodies of crackheads, they're like, oh, yeah, that's what happened. They just need a statement. They need to make a statement to the press and kind of figure out how to frame it, is the feeling you got.
Okay. Well, that seems like it's less of a threat to us.
Yeah.
I'll automatically buy into that.
So, Killian, what are you doing about this address and Dwight Rudell?
Yeah, I think we should, at the very least, Tig and I should pay this guy a visit.
Okay.
So we can split up if there are things that Greene and Alten can be handling to smooth things over with the cops. Or
Yeah.
We can make our statements first. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys want to stop in and make the statement first.
Yeah. We only have one vehicle though. So.
Okay.
Because wasn't that one trashed in the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So,
Trashed and then.
so we can maybe we can drop you at the Pets and More, and then you guys can get a cab back or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
Okay.
the more that gives me confidence that
I mean, right, and more. Yeah. I mean, the police. Do they have a? I mean, they've had to send police to the hospital before, right? I mean, do they have a recommended place to go? Because I mean, my situation is pretty mundane. I'm just all scratched up and need it to be.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go to the medical center, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're federal law enforcement. They will say, "How did this happen?" And you will say, "I was attacked."
Like I think Tig's examination needs some privacy, but
yeah,
I don't think mine does.
Okay, so I mean, going to the Jamaica Medical Center is probably a mistake. You've been there before with weird results.
Yes.
Right.
So finding another local hospital is not a big deal. You find a place called St. Mary's that has an emergency room. And basically, you go in and get treated. They do a whole bunch of nasty stuff that hurts like a motherfucker.
That's what I'm there for.
They treat the wounds. They call, they look for your ID. They coordinate with the New York Police Department to make sure your ID checks out. And when it does, this is all stupidly boring and it hurts, but you feel like your face may actually heal now.
Yay. That's what we want out of life.
So who's going where and when? It's, going on 8 a.m. They want you in the police,
right?
The local police station.
I mean, while they're messing with me, you guys could take Tig and see if you can extract an X-ray treatment out of Dr. Riddell. That might be part of the more that he carries.
Yeah, we'll try that. At least drop her there. If not, stick around.
Okay.
I suggest you stay together as a group when you get that examination.
Oh, all right.
Just in case.
Right. Sure. Well, we could have, as soon as you went to the ER, then we could have gone for that. So
because they'll be messing with me for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes them a little while. So, okay, so you guys are going to drive out to Pets and More. So Tygnal and Greene and Alten.
Yeah.
Okay. So Pets and More is in a strip mall on Sunrise Highway next to a Walbaum's. It is it looks like a place they sell, puppy mill puppies, pet supplies, and have a little veterinary practice in the back where they give shots. They do, they fix animals and other stuff like that. Mr. Riddell is a slightly overweight, curly, redheaded man who talks very fast. And when you guys come in, he nods at you as if he recognizes who you are, and then kind of waves you in the back. There are people milling about. It seems like a rather boring location, but in the back, it's filthy. I mean, first of all, it's disgusting back here. It looks like an old, long, uncleaned restaurant. There are rubber mats that obviously haven't been hosed down in years, covered in filth. It smells like animals. There's piles of dog food, some of them ripped open. He leads you into a suite, which has medical materials scattered across a steel table, an old-looking computer, a Commodore of some sort, and he sits on a stool, and says, "Yeah, tell me what's going on." While he does this, he's shaking out a bunch of unidentified pills, and then popping them in his mouth.
Yeah. I'm gonna just tell him, I ingested something. I'm not sure what it is. It's been making me feel weird, and I need an X-ray to see, if you can see anything abnormal or weird, or tell what that might be.
He looks kind of crestfallen for a second, and then says, "How much money do you have on you?"
Oh, for an X-ray? I don't know, $50.
Well, he says, I don't know. I don't have access to X-ray materials here. I do know a dental hygienist. We can work something out.
That'll be good.
Is he close by?
Yeah. He's in Baldwin. He's a town over.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because I don't know. What about a ultrasound thing? Do you have anything like that?
No, you'd have to go into the city for something like that. So he basically thinks for a couple minutes. He goes, "Let me make some phone calls." So he goes out, and you hear him talking on the phone. You're sitting in this kind of filthy back room, and you realize there are several animals in boxes to the side that look like household pets. And you guys are just kind of like, "Why are we here?" is the general. This is kind of scary. So he comes back in, and then he asks Tygnal to get up on the steel table and lie back. He wants to see if he can feel anything.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. So he's talking now. He's telling you his horrible life story where he washed out as a corpsman, got caught with doing drugs, got dumped, met up with the group once, make some pretty good money on the side doing stuff like this. And he's feeling around your stomach area, kind of pushing down in the lower quadrant, the left, the right, then the midsection. You don't feel anything odd, and you haven't felt anything odd in a little while. Do you want to maybe give me an alertness roll?
Sure.
Sounds so enthusiastic about it.
Do I want to know? I think
That's it.
Oh, that's either really good or really bad.
What is it, 44? I don't see but one dice.
Yeah, it's 44.
that's really bad.
Got 41.
Okay. Okay, so roll Sam.
Great. That's just great. Oh, for God's sake!
Wow.
What the hell?
Oh, what the hell is that?
Okay. 3 points. So here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
He presses down your lower left, your lower right, the middle, and then kind of does this motion where he moves his hand like this up towards your solar plexus.
Mm-hmm.
And you very clearly feel something shift from your solar plexus area to the lower quadrant of your body. And then the feeling is gone. Like you don't feel it anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure that.
And he doesn't, it's obvious he doesn't notice anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sitting up very quickly.
Okay. He goes, "Oh, did that hurt? I'm sorry."
Yeah, it's just not, I'm just very sore. Thank you.
Okay. So he says, "We don't have to do the teeth guy. There's another veterinary practice in Freeport. They have an X-ray machine. We should be fine there. We got to figure out something to trade, or if anybody's got any, like $100, $200, something like that, it'll make this guy happy."
What have we got on us for cash? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily pool together $200.
Let's do that.
Okay. So he basically comes along with you, Mr. Rudell. You drive out to Freeport, which is 2 towns over, heading further out on the island. You go into a larger, much more fancy-looking veterinary clinic. This one looks above board. And the man who he talks with briefly waves you back, and they have an argument over money for about 10 minutes. And then the man who owns this place leaves, shutting the door, and Rudell says, "Up on the table."
All right.
Okay, so he hands out a catcher's vest to Greene, puts one on himself, and then starts angling all these weird mats across your chest and across your neck, and he's like, "We're just going to take a picture of the midsection, and it's no big deal." So he loads up all this stuff on this specialty table and then brings out this kind of weird bar. It's got a little click button. You guys stand behind a LED thing and does a click. And then 25 minutes later pulls out these kind of weird little X-ray cells, 2 of them, and plops them on the table. Let's see. He's going to make his roll. So, okay. So he says, "I don't see anything."
Well, can I take a look?
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So he's holding it up and basically says, "That's your liver. That's your intestine."
Pathologist, I'm aware.
Yeah.
But so can I in feeling where I felt whatever it was go? Is that section on the X-ray?
Oh yeah.
I felt it is, and I don't see anything there.
Do you want to make a medicine roll?
Yes.
Go ahead. I like how these rolls are like destroying you. That's
killing me, but I want to know. All right. No.
You don't see anything.
All right,
No.
we'll take this with us and pay $200 for them.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rudell says, "So are you wrapping up? Are you leaving town?"
No, get a little more to look at.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, don't show up at my shop at 2 a.m. with a bunch of bullet holes. Thanks. And
that's our goal.
He hops in the car, and you guys driving back and then continue back to the city. You now have these X-rays.
Okay. Let us beep Killian and see if he can give us. We'll stop somewhere and give him a number that he can call us and see if he's done, so we can get him and go to the cops.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, you guys all line up, get into the car, drive to the police station, and give your deposition to what's her name again? Sorry, to Whitner and Woods, the 2 detectives. And you talk to Brooks, the deputy chief, who basically the conversation goes like this. The 2 detectives are like, "It's fucking bad out there, isn't it?" Is the gist of their conversation. And Brooks's conversation is, "Please don't have running gun battles in areas I have to pay attention to. We have it bad enough." It's not a stern dressing down. You get the very clear feeling he doesn't think he has the authority to do that to you yet. But if things get really bad, it will escalate to calling Washington and them dealing with you.
No. Well, I apologize for the extra work, but to be in our defense, they started it.
Well, he laughs. I have no doubt. I've seen this 100 different ways, so that's not surprising. But, it's the collateral damage I'm concerned about.
Sure. Yeah.
So anyway, he thanks you and shakes hands. You guys give a deposition. How do we want to handle this? Do you guys want to roll persuade to tell the same story?
Well, we would have. I think we would have, briefed each other in the car on the basics.
Okay, so I'll give you a plus 20% on that.
Okay.
Do you want all of us to roll it, or just one?
Yeah, I think so. You're all going to have to give a deposition.
Okay.
All right. Me?
So yeah, you work out the story driving over.
I can't see those dice.
79.
Okay, that's a failure for me.
Okay.
This is Amber, you want to do yours?
Yeah, let's see. That's a success for me.
Okay. Killian?
All right. Nope. Not even with +1.
And
That's
Alten vanished. Alten got out while the getting was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so all this means is you give a deposition, nobody's paying too much attention to it, but there are discrepancies.
Later, there are going to be holes.
Yeah.
If somebody decides they need to start paying attention, then
it will be bad.
Right.
Sorry. Let me get Alten to roll as well. Alten, can you roll your persuade plus 20% for me?
Persuade plus 20. All right. Let's see. My persuade is 70, so that would be 90.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Very persuasive.
You should have just made him do it all.
If you fail, man, we know you're cursed.
No,
6.
Okay, good. You're fine. So you guys are free to go, and you hear from the two detectives, Woods and Whitner, that they're heading over to Beefsteak Charlie's, which is like a chain restaurant, and they think they might have a witness who saw the headhunter because they witnessed one of the victims get into a taxi cab, and they believe the headhunter might be driving a cab.
Okay.
This was victim 2, Jacqueline Hall. So, I believe. Let me see. So, what are you guys doing car-wise? You have one vehicle.
Yeah, I think we need to rent another one or requisition another one or something. What kind of access do we have?
Well, you can pull from the New York the federal pool, or you'd have to drive somewhere and go pick up the car, or get driven somewhere and pick up the car, sign it out, all that kind of stuff. Or you can go to Hertz and rent one. But there's the whole problem of having just destroyed one rental car.
Right.
So if you want to make a bureaucracy roll at the Hertz counter, if you want to settle up cash-wise at the Hertz counter, that's possible too.
Yeah, I figure we ought to just settle up with Hertz and then get one from the government.
Okay. So, blah, 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 blah. How do you want to go about it? You basically will just assume you're magically ported to a Hertz dealership. Are you going to lie? Are you going to try and get them to comply? Are you going to...
Our official statement is we got attacked, and it was a crazy thing, and the car was destroyed. So,
okay, that would be probably a persuade roll.
Persuade? That's the actual truth. What am I trying to persuade people?
You want me to?
I mean, do you want to flash your badge? You can do that too.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, because this is all on record, right?
Yeah, I mean, are you going to get them to call the police, or it depends on how far you want to go into the story.
I mean, if Hertz needs to call the NYPD to confirm the reason that their car was destroyed was whatever, then I'll give them whoever our sort of main point of contact is. Not Brooks, but
right.
The other,
okay.
One of the other guys.
So what happens is a 25-minute phone call, and then basically a promise of reimbursement from federal authorities for damages to the car. You hand off a card. They're going to call Washington at some point and work this out. He seems confused, and he's like, "Do you want a new car?" Like he doesn't really understand what's going on here.
No, but, we just need to settle up and make sure that
it's fine. It seems resolved,
and that's fine. So
okay.
So we just need another vehicle from either the cops or from the federal motor pool, wherever that is.
Okay.
I don't know where that is in New York.
It's in Woodside, so it's not too far. So basically, you drive out. You sign in to the area. You talk to basically a person in charge there. It takes an hour. You're given a nondescript black sedan with a radio and a radio phone.
Wow.
And you sign. You use your real name and your federal credentials to sign for this. You're responsible for this car.
Does it have a police scanner by any chance?
Yeah.
All right. We're here on official cop business after all. Okay.
Okay. So you're driving out to where?
The whatever it's called, the Beef O'Brady's now. Whatever it is.
Beefsteak Charlie's. Yeah. So okay. So victim 2 was last seen at a party at Beefsteak Charlie's. It was like a baby shower for her friends. She turned up dead the next day. Headhunter MO. Questioning at the Beefsteak Charlie's didn't really focus on vehicles coming and going initially. So the police have just kind of uncovered this load of stuff to mine, because now they're pretty certain Jacqueline Hall made a telephone call from the payphone outside to a taxi company, and that at least 2 employees, maybe more, saw a taxi pick her up that evening. Yeah, everybody drop your experience checks in for failed rolls. I just don't believe you're going to be around that much longer, so don't worry about it.
I've already failed that.
How many have I failed today? When you get out to the Beefsteak Charlie's, it's going on 1 in the afternoon. You have 2 cars. There are a bunch of NYPD cruisers out here. This is a mostly evening-focused restaurant, so you're assuming the staff has come in early as a favor. There's a half dozen personnel on there. Some are wearing goofy, old-timey looking bow ties and suspenders. And you see 2 of the detectives in charge of the headhunter case talking to individuals. There are a bunch of other people waiting. Anyway.
Do we see, what were their names that were our main people? Hold on, I've got them here. Solaski and Anderson, weren't they our main people here? Are they around?
Yep, you see them.
So I guess get their attention and see, ask what's up.
Okay, so you talk to them briefly. They basically say that they tell you that the gist of it is that this came out of a secondary interview that one of the waitresses mentioned seeing a cab pick someone up. And now they think they have a lead having to do with so he's pointing and he says Bertoni there. He says a waiter. He's pointing at a waiter, and then Neville. He points at a waitress. The waiter says he saw the victim at the payphone, and then the waitress says that she saw her get into a cab. That it was a Springfield Gardens yellow cab. We've already got a call in with them. Try and identify the cab number. We don't have a cab number, but they should have a phone log and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're following up on now. But that's about it. I heard you guys had a wild night.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Dennis, how extensive is all my bandages? Am I full Elephant Man at this point, or
no?
You're minimize it.
You have a bunch of scratch marks across your face and a bunch of Band-Aids in a direction. You look like someone messed you up. It looks like a cat went across your face and you've taped it all up. You're not wearing bandages or anything.
Okay.
They're flesh-colored Band-Aids, but it's pretty obvious to anybody who looks at you that you've been in a fight.
Right. So, exciting night. Yeah, it was exciting.
Well, he laughs and says, well, every night's exciting here, you'll find.
I look forward to that.
Okay, so basically, they ignore you here. I mean, they're all kind of poking around, talking to people, taking notes. This is the investigation portion of this this NYPD project, and they seem very bored and like they're resigned to it. What are you guys going to do?
Well, I mean, I guess the question is, they said they could use some help, so I'll ask,
Sure.
What can we do to assist? Or
okay, so they point you at the
Are we the only one who lost Dennis?
No, I can't see him either.
Yeah, we lost the handler. It's never a good sign.
it's never.
I want to go back and
Yeah.
hello. Sorry,
You're
y'all.
back.
There you are.
back.
You all went blank. It wasn't me.
Oh, it was you.
So they point you in the direction of the waiter and the waitress who have already been interviewed, and just say, use whatever federal things you guys do. They're not dismissive, but they're just kind of like,
Right.
Yeah, there's not much more to do here.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can maybe let Alten take the lead, since he's very communicating and has the psychological skills. But I mean, we need to know sort of when they saw what they saw and what else. I mean, whatever details we can get out of them that they haven't already thought to share. I don't know what else to look for them.
Okay. So Alten, you want to chat with them in a friendly manner, or do you want to question them?
No, chat with them in a friendly manner.
Okay. So give me a persuade roll.
Psychology training. Straight persuade.
Yeah.
Okay.
25. Nice. So this is you laying the groundwork to be the nice, happy guy, and they let their guard down. You're interviewing both at the same time. They tell a story that basically on March 30th at about 9:30, this woman left from the baby shower that they were hosting at the Beefsteak Charlie's. It was a bunch of women. They were all having a good time drinking, except for the mother-to-be, of course. And between the two, they put together that she had gone outside, rang for a cab, and then a cab had shown up, and that's the last time anybody had seen her. So she got in this cab, and that was it. She turned up dead the next day.
And she came by cab?
They seem, they don't know. They said everybody kind of showed up at 7 and were there until about 10. She left at 9:30. She left early.
Who else was at this baby shower?
Well, they have a list of credit card receipts and
let's get all that so we can get in touch with people she knows, just in case that hasn't been done.
Okay, and
did anything strange happen during the event? Any disruptions or anyone acting unusual?
No, it seemed pretty normal. We have these a couple times a year. It's not a big deal. I mean, people usually tip good.
Well, she left early though. Did she seem upset, or did she seem in a hurry at all, or?
No, and looking at her file, you guys see that she had kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be just as simple as she had to get home to see her kids or take care of her kids.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, they don't say any. They don't say anything odd went on. There's a bunch of listings in the file now that you see. You see initial interest in her ex-husband, Devon Hall, and that her body was discovered by another individual named Evelyn Washington. There are all these names listed. But basically, the takeaway here is that she's associated with a cab from a particular cab company.
Has anyone talked to this cab driver, do we know?
They haven't located the actual cab driver, but they're talking with the cab company now and trying to line up the timing logs. So it's a radio dispatch. They call in pickups and drop-offs.
Is the cab company cooperating?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it's up to you guys what you want to do.
Well, there was something I'd wanted to do.
Okay.
Visit the big occult bookstore in town.
Okay.
Famous occult bookstore in town.
Oh, Groyers? I think we did something there after you had already logged off, Kevin. Were you there when we were staking it out? We didn't go inside. Club. That's right. We just sort of fooled around outside it.
No, not that book club. I mean the actual occult bookstore.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Which one is that? I don't remember.
What's it called now? Warlock. Oh crap! I knew it, and it was I want to do this for a couple weeks now, and now I can't remember the
name of the
it. Yeah, hang on. Wikipedia will know, so I will use my future time traveling knowledge.
The other thing, if we can pull ourselves aside and have a quick discussion among ourselves, another thing we were considering is that see if we can't contact the organization and get some explosives that we could use to deal with that house.
It is
okay. Okay, so
Warlock shop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. So calling the group, you're gonna pull some strings to try and get explosives, dynamite,
something that will take out that house that we can make it claim it's a gas leak or something.
Okay, so basically you're told in gruff, no uncertain terms that gasoline will do, and just burn it down.
All right. That's what you think. Having seen the inhabitants, I'm not
they don't seem eager to hand you explosives. Okay, so Alten, you're going to
like people who haven't been inside that house.
Let's see. You're going to the Warlock shop.
What are our courses of investigation here? We can look at the Warlock shop to talk about the occult side of things. We can go into Groyers and get a better look at this nameless book that everybody's got the vapors about. Are there facets of the other victims that need to be investigated?
Yeah, I mean,
we don't know much about.
There's dozens of leads. If you want to, it can be as simple as you guys saying you want to investigate everybody who made contact with the deceased on the last day, the last person to see them alive, the person to discover the body, any of those things.
I mean, if our goal is to find out the problem and resolve it, I think we've found the problem, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Resolving it is the big question then.
Right. I mean, it's not that we don't need to resolve the investigation necessarily. We need to stop the threat.
Right. I mean, if we can contribute to them tying a bow on the serial killer investigation, that's great. But we need to stop the killings first. Well, okay. I suspect that the nameless book is going to be key to that.
Okay.
So, do we want to just all go as a group out there, or
yes, because I can tell you that my primary goal is to destroy that house. So yes, I think we stick together. If we think the key may be in that book, then let's post haste.
And clearly, we want to do anything out there in the daytime because they were limited. They didn't seem to leave the house when it was
they don't
light,
obviously don't like the light.
Okay.
But we can certainly do our investigation into what we need to do
right
now. Have a plan.
Okay. So, who's going where? It is now just after 2 in the afternoon.
We can all go together to the Warlock shop if we want to.
Okay. It's on Henry Street in New York. It's run by Mr. Herman Slater. It's kind of a local legend as far as the neo-pagan community goes. It's a relatively small, incredibly cramped shop filled with all manner of gear. When you guys enter, you can hear music playing from the back, something appropriately 60s. And there's an older man with long grayish hair reading the New York Post, leaning kind of forward, flipping page to page. He doesn't look up. He doesn't talk to you. And when you look around here, you see, sheets of weird-looking rings, red candles, weird printed mats with patterns on them. It looks all very classic fare.
All right, I'm gonna go up to the guy.
Okay.
And say, I'm looking for a copy of Necronomicon.
Okay. Yeah, he leans back and raises his eyebrow and looks back on the shelf and then kind of digs around for a little bit and comes out with a little paperback book and hands it across to you.
All right.
And before he lets you take it, he pulls it back suddenly and looks at the back and says, "It's $4.99."
All right, I'll hand him $5 bill.
Okay, and he continues reading the book,
Right.
the Post.
I'm gonna flip through it until I find that name that the museum person mentioned, the one that was carved in the person I can't remember the.
Isogo.
Yeah, Isogo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you find the pattern. It's basically a circle with a bunch of weird little squiggly bits kind of drawn into it, and it's Isogol, Esogol.
All right. I'm going to say in a conversational tone, do you sell many of these?
Yeah, I mean it's popular. It's all rubbish, of course.
Of course. It's, do you think that any of the people you sell it to take it a little bit more seriously than they should?
Okay, he now looks at you in a more discerning eye, and he says, "Are you police?"
Sometimes, but let's just say I dabble in this sort of stuff as a hobby.
Okay, so he gives you a kind of he's you're in the middle of the satanic panic, and this guy is kind of a known witchcraft operator. He basically says, "Yeah, I mean it's New York City, right? You have crazies everywhere. We had the whole Son of Sam thing. I didn't hear the end of that for months. Not so I know. I mean, if someone you're looking for bought it, they probably bought it, at B. Dalton or something like that.
Bookstore.
Yeah.
So, nobody that you would know, and especially none of the people that would come in here, would have a particular interest in any of the, garbage that's in this book.
No. I mean, this is all just someone. I don't know if you know the story. He just literally poured through a couple pages from the Tetragrammaton and Syrian writings and just drew patterns and made up names. So,
so I'll hold up the page of the book with that symbol and say, so nobody has ever talked about this particular thing.
No, not to my knowledge. But all this stuff is very. It's how you interpret it, right? So,
I want to take the book from him and while he's talking, and we were told that I'm not saying this out loud, but I'm just establishing that the
yeah.
So I have down that the that Abigail White said that in this the other guy Tomasino said that in this copy of the Necronomicon that that Esau Ghul was mentioned in conjunction with something for a creature that started with the letter Y about midway through. That's what I have down. Like, can I find that kind of going around in the middle and looking through the Y demons?
Yeah.
And see if there's one that corresponds with that name.
Here, let me write this out.
Y or Y or E S Sagol Naek. That's a mouthful. Does the text talk at all about what I'm looking at there?
No. Almost every entry here is an image, a single image, and then a stream of phonetics beneath it saying, to summon this thing, do the following, blah, 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 for half a page.
Right.
But it doesn't describe the thing except in the most general sense. A servant of the outer planes.
Was this name and its associated pattern, is that what Agent Alten was looking at just now and showing to our proprietor?
No, Agent Alten was showing the circle with SO goal underneath it.
Oh, okay.
This is something.
So this other one is a separate entry.
Yep.
All right. Well, then I'll sort of hold that page open, spread out, and say, what about this one?
He says, you know, man, this is all just make believe, right? They're not doing real magic.
Oh no, I get it. I get it. What we're wondering about is people that have shown an unhealthy interest in either of these particular things.
Yeah, that's not. It's not the kind of business.
Get some kind of crazies in here.
Well, yeah, I mean, but we try and send them on their way, right? I mean, the last thing I need is some guy outside thinking he's talking to a dog, going off to shoot people. So, yeah, the people who come here are, the people who frequent this shop are friends of the shop to a large degree. We have a coven. We take this stuff very seriously. So we don't just let anybody kind of wander in and do whatever. We would certainly report it to the police if we thought someone was dangerous.
You haven't gotten anyone coming in and trying to inquire about this sort of stuff?
No.
Other than us?
No.
So I guess looking around the shop, I want to ask him, so which of these would you recommend that's not complete bullshit?
Oh, well, the greater keys. So he pulls down a large leather-bound volume called The Keys of Solomon. He opens the book and he says, this is serious stuff, though. I mean, this is years of study. It's not something you just flip a switch and it works. You have to kind of work yourself up into believing it, and then it happens. I mean, it's like explaining music to someone who's never heard it before. It's not something you're going to understand initially, but I mean, if you're really interested, this is what you want to be looking at.
Yeah. All right. And for a stranger's use, is there? Do you have anything that'll give the context, something that'll help you wrap your brain around what you're seeing in this thing?
Oh, you mean the bullshit book? He points at.
No. Like if I start reading the Greater Keys of Solomon, I've got a pretty good academic background, but not in this. So I'm going to be really, really lost as I start reading it. Most likely, right?
I mean, he says there are a couple books that are okay I mean, you're missing the point. That the Greater Keys of Solomon it's a map. It shows you where to go. The whole point is you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You discover it. You read it. You absorb it. You concentrate on it, and things change. I mean, you're going to think I'm crazy, but these things work.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah. So he says, you know, you're looking at it like I looked at it when I first started messing with this stuff in the 60s. You know, it's something to be picked apart and understood. It's not how it works. It took me years to figure out. You just kind of settle into it. It's like going into a pool, right? You just lower yourself in, and suddenly you're immersed. It's a different world. It's all in that book.
All right, sold.
Okay, so he closes the book, and this one's $160.
No kidding.
No kidding.
All right. Out of character, do I have access to that kind of?
Yeah, I mean,
I'll pitch in because I want access to that book also.
Yeah, you can make it happen. Okay, so yeah, he thanks you, and you know, he says, you know, I the last thing I want is an adversarial relationship with the law, but you know, all these people, we've had these people coming in here, these you know, board agains and stuff like that, burning dog shit on my front patio, and you know,
yeah.
So I'm hoping the FBI or whatever you are works out that we're not killing babies or anything like that. That's not what it's about.
Yeah, no, I get it, and that's not what we're here for. Yeah, what we care about is when people get hurt for real. And,
yeah, that makes sense.
If I give you my card, would you give me a call or page me if you hear about anything that disturbs you?
Yeah, sure.
We understand that you're not interested in doing the sorts of things that brought us here, the reason we're investigating, and we would hope that you would want to assist us in trying to stop the sort of people, the kind of crazies who do take this a bit the wrong way.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you know, are you expecting someone might turn up here?
Well, you've heard about the rash of murders.
Oh, the Queens thing?
Yeah, you know, crazy people use all sorts of weird excuses or weird reasons for things, and figure it might give us some kind of edge in helping stop this guy.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess I could see that. Okay.
So if you know of anything, or if you know of someone who might know of something, because I know that groups talk with each other, and I know you've all run into the kind of people that are trying to perhaps, get real power when it's not about that sort of thing. And
there's always crazies on the fringe, you know, but we do our best to kind of keep it down to serious people. But yeah, thanks for coming in, and thanks for the purchase, and you know, come back whenever you like.
All right, thank you then.
Have a good day.
Okay. So I guess head out. So Grolier's now.
Okay.
See the blood book.
Okay, so you guys head off to Grolier's in Manhattan, and the Grolier Club is East 60th Street on the Upper East Side. You park. It's going on around 3:30. They're still open. Basically, when you enter, you see the main level double doors open onto what used to be a parlor, but is now a display area. There's a small desk to the side. There's two large plexiglass displays that have books open in them with lights on them, specialty lights. And then there's an old-timey looking pull-aside elevator directly in front of you with stairs that kind of go upstairs. And a man, the minute you open the door, a man appears from the side near where the desk is and asks if he can help you. He's mid-40s, older, short, and slightly overweight.
Alten, do you want to take the lead here? You've got the occult background. We were looking for there's apparently a book printed with human blood, 16th or 17th century, small, hand-bound, Joshua Palma. That's what I have written down.
Yeah, that's Joshua. This is Joshua Palma.
Oh, he's the okay.
Yeah.
So does this have a name like the Blood Codex or something?
Yeah. The Blood Book.
The Blood Book. Okay.
Yeah. So he says, and your book collectors,
I have a passing interest in such material. Not
okay.
Books in general, but this specific sort of book.
Okay. So he says, it's upstairs. So he goes over and lifts the telephone and speaks to someone briefly on an interior line. See him press a button and he talks, and then you guys head upstairs to the second level. This room takes up the entire floor, has very small windows in the back, and then two big windows in the front, which open onto the street. And there are display cases. There are 6 display cases here. There are a bunch of odd books. You see the first book you see, the plaque says 1862. There's a cartoon of a soldier marching, and then as the book unfolds, it's some sort of political tract from the Civil War. It's a comedy or something to that effect. It's got a little label beneath it, basically talking about the political machine in New York at the time or something, and how rare it is. You guys walk past these. These are all lit, and he takes you finally to the back, and you're looking at. It is identified. Basically, it says it's the only known book printed with a blood ink mix in the modern era. We don't know where or when. We think London mid 19th century, and you're looking at a very small Bible-like book, which is folded open. He says several things unusual about it. The binding is very unusual. It's something you might find in an 18th century book. It's hand stitched. The cover, we think, may be human skin. This was bought in auction in 1945 in London by the club for specific reasons. The text is a pseudo-religious.
Did you say specific reasons?
Oh yeah, we it had been announced to us that the book was most likely printed using human blood. We collect specialty books, one-of-a-kind examples. We sometimes sell them at auction to private collectors when we move the collection. We have a large organization of similar book clubs around the world that deal and trade in these items. This item is unusual for several reasons. One was recovered in France after the war, brought back by the British war effort, released to public auction. In any case, it's a very valuable book. And he asks, he basically says, so are you collectors? Are you interested in having a closer look at the book?
I'm interested in having a closer look at the book because I am studying these sorts of books.
Okay. He says, we don't usually do that, with a walk-in. We can set up an appointment through your office. We usually vet the people who handle these items. We need to know that you know what you're doing. This item is delicate. So he smiles apologetically, but...
Well, I want to sort of give Alten a questioning look that pretty clearly says, okay, do we go public on, tell him who we are, or do we want to keep trade crafting?
Say that this is, not due to any sort of professional interest. This is something that I've been studying for, say, several years now. When this book came to my attention, and I was hoping that I could have a closer look at it. I don't need to physically handle it. I'm more than happy to let you handle your own book. I just want to check some of the pages, check some of the contents, and see if that correlates with any of the other books that I've been studying.
Okay, well, maybe we can show you the photostatic copies.
Well, that would work.
Okay, so he says, and to be clear, the club can provide a copy of the book for approximately $250, a photostatic copy. It's not a perfect reproduction. We're beginning to experiment with color photocopying. There is talk of doing a print. There was a request from a odd university in Massachusetts about it. So he disappears into the back and comes back out with a quarto of printed sheets and drops them on the table and clicks on a big light and says, please take your time. That's what the club is here for. We're closing at just shy of 6 o'clock.
All right. Thank you very much.
So Tygnal and Greene, do you guys want to be staying outside in the car for deniability?
Sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So I'll work with Alten then. I mean, between us, we've got a pretty heavy amount of background in this kind of thing potentially. I mean, what's inside this book? Like, is it?
It's
what
writing.
Is it?
It's English. It is printed. It is not written.
Okay.
It even had.
And that's the weird thing that somebody had to actually set up ink.
The ink rollers and everything.
Press.
Someone, yeah, and the notes that you're seeing on the side of these photostatic copies indicate that the mix wasn't 100% blood. It was some odd mix of blood and normal ink, which led to this unique dark purple color to the ink, which is not represented in the photostatic copy, but you can see it in the open book. The book does indeed contain "Eso Gol" in it, written in it in a prayer about 90 pages into the book. And it's "Eso Gol Na Ek." No Y at the beginning, but it's basically everything after the Y. This. Anyway, it's a book concerning the worship of an odd creature.
So there's a prayer to "Eso Gul Na Ek."
Yeah. Do you want to hear the prayer?
Sure.
Okay. It's all in Akkadian, as far as you can tell. It's "Eso
Akkadian.
Gol Na Ek She Mi Es Tas Liti Ete Sapaku Sarahu Nabu Ruaku Na Eseru Pitu Shama Et Pakatu Tishu Kakabu Es Utama Alumi Nishu.
If Alten starts reading that aloud, I'll kind of nudge him to shut up.
So does anybody read Akkadian?
No, not this time. That was the other character I had in mind.
So if someone wants to read the book, it will take hours to read the book. It's possible. You can. You may even be able to finish. It's relatively short.
Well, the parts that are in Akkadian, I want to transcribe into my notebook so we can take those to our experts for translation.
Right. The other thing was, and in what sort of context is this prayer found? I mean, like, what does it say? When does it say to do this prayer? Why is you praying to this thing? Does it?
Okay, so the first bit basically explains how the author, who is never named, discovered these rites. So these rites came to the author in a dream. The author saw many things in these dreams and wrote them all down. It was only through years of concentrated study could the author understand exactly what they meant, and they all became clear one day, and he wrote a series of books. And apparently this book is just one in a series. So this book is all about properly preparing the way for this god, this entity, who is called Eso Gol Naek. And Eso Gol Naek concerns the power of life and death over man. And if you pray to it properly, you can live forever. The prayer here is one of the ways you prepare yourself to be able to see this thing. So it's the section you're looking at, about 90 pages in, is nothing but rituals. It's, how to properly prepare your mind to be able to accept this thing, how to summon it, how to find it, there's a whole bunch of lists. And each one has Akkadian writing. The only reason you recognize the Akkadian writing is because of your conversation with the man at the American Museum of Natural History. This stuff all looks identical to the stuff he was showing you. The phonetic sounds, the spacing, it's all quite obviously Akkadian or Syrian or Assyrian.
So we either need to cough up for a copy of this or see if they'll let us buy individual pages.
Yeah. Yeah, well, just see if you can figure out how much you have left on your credit card. And in the meantime, what's now that we've had a chance to explore the inside, what's the security look like? Do they have alarms on the windows and doors?
Yeah, there's tape alarm on all the windows. There's, you can see the alarm bell on each level. It looks like a standard shop in Manhattan. You don't think the windows...
Hypothetically, somebody were to use a crowbar to push the back door in, would it be like an alarm that would summon the cops, or just a bell that would tell somebody the door's open if they happen to be in there already?
Do you want to make an alertness roll in case the joint?
I think you should.
Yeah, I mean, and if that fails, then I'd like to actually physically look around, and I guess.
Sure. Well, I mean, I've explained everything you can see. You can see tape on the windows. You can see bells. But anything more than that, you're going to have to kind of figure out.
Right. Well, yeah. All right. So I guess let's see if I can make an alertness roll. I'm not real confident.
You're not?
But see what I can get just from being here. I get nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
From just being
nothing. Here. Okay. So the gist of what you see is you assume this place is pretty well appointed. It's most likely has an alarm that is linked to the police at some level, that if this goes off, the police will be here. This place seems relatively valuable. The neighborhood's good. The stuff here is well maintained and well appointed. You doubt they would be fooling around with any of this stuff. Also, your general knowledge, all this stuff has to be insured up to yin yang. And, the club is responsible for safekeeping all this stuff. So,
right. Okay. Well, so while Alten is, I'll leave him to continue transcribing the Akkadian and making notes on the context of the things that we're transcribing and figuring out whether he can afford it or whether I'll need to pay for it for the copy. I'm gonna head down, back downstairs.
Okay.
And my goal is the back door by way is sort of, I'm pretending to look for bathroom, but mainly I want to see what the back door looks like from this side.
Okay, so you walk down, the long hallway off the main room from around the staircase. So basically, there's 2 staircases. There's the old elevator, which no one seems to use, and then there's a hallway to the side which cuts back and goes. You see a bathroom, and then there's a door maybe 25 feet beyond. The door is, this whole hallway is obviously not maintained quite as well as the front. It's all overpainted with, very thick paint. It's old. It's got a tin ceiling, and the back door has 2 bolts and then a standing rod which locks the door at night. You're assuming, but the door is open right now.
Right.
And you're looking at a spray of high grass in a fenced-in box. Basically, it looks like a place people stand out on a patio and smoke.
Yeah, and the back door has the same little connector for the alarm system.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go to the bathrooms in case anybody's paying any attention at all, and then
okay.
And then I want to head back upstairs.
Okay.
And I want to find the like if there's the stairs that go up to the roof.
Okay, so you head back upstairs. The staircase continues again, double, going upstairs, and there's a 3rd level which is partially lit and has several displays. And you see there's a ladder in one corner of the back. There's no windows on the back wall. There's just a ladder, and there's a hatch in the ceiling. You assume that's the roof.
Okay. I'll look around super furtively and suspiciously, probably, to see if anybody's watching me. And
okay.
And climb up the ladder and test the hatch.
Okay. Hang on. You want to do that in a sneaky manner?
Well, I mean,
sure.
The failure will earn me a point of stealth, so why not?
So give me the stealth roll.
Oh.
That's me.
Yeah, that was him.
Oh, okay. Oh.
What did I do? 39. So I failed, but
okay.
not a fumble.
No, he failed and he fumbled. So you're okay. You climb this ladder. The ceiling in here is about 12 feet high. You put your hand on the lower kind of hasp of this older flip top kind of door,
right?
And it when you move it, it rattles as if there's a lock on the outside.
Okay. Did there happen to be any of those alarm, like the tape or the? I mean, I assume the doors have those like connector plastic things that
they do. They do. If you want to roll,
do I see
give me a
anything
luck
like
roll.
that on the hatch? I mean,
just give me a luck roll.
Delta Greene, dice roll you.
Yes, there is a connector there.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. I've got one more thing to do, but you feel free to do
sure.
something else.
Tignal?
Yeah.
She's listening.
You start to feel very ill.
But I was feeling so good
moments ago.
You feel like you need either to go to the bathroom or have a drink of water, or both.
What else is around here? We're parked in the car outside of Grollier's. What's on the street? Anything?
It's a lot of apartment buildings.
Not like a bodega.
No gas station or anything.
No.
Okay.
No, you're way out of that neighborhood.
But they're right there in the bookstore, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the book museum thing. Yeah.
Well, I may have to go in here then if it's bad enough. See if they'll let me use their facility. Oh, well, but then that's kind of...
Yeah, trickles. We were trying to stay out so we were not seen. we can drive somewhere. Let's just, drive a little further out until we can find something that'll have a bathroom.
Okay.
Perhaps a McDonald's.
Sure. Yeah, that's easy to find.
Okay.
And they still let you use the bathroom back then.
Yeah, I'll go in to the bathroom and use the facility, splash water on my face.
Okay. So you guys drive off and do this. Killian, what are you doing?
Okay, so I want to get out out of my pocket, like a little multi-tool, pocket thingy with the shitty pliers on it, and try to use that to like just physically pry off one of those alarm sensor connectors from the bottom of the hatch.
So you're trying to disconnect the sensor.
Yeah. Like my theory is that when they turn the system on tonight, it'll get triggered that there's a break, that one of these is not connecting right. And that's fine, but then that they'll shut it off again because it's a pain in the ass.
Okay. Yeah. The alarm does not go off when you pop the tape off the lower hasp.
Okay. Then I'll put that in my pocket so I don't drop it on the floor to make noise, and
okay,
climb back down.
Okay, no problem. You find Alten still transcribing.
Mm-hmm. Is he getting feverish? Does he have that? My sanity is almost into single digits. Looking at
I don't know with my sanity the way it is. It's a distinct possibility. This is the stuff I've been trying to find. This is the key.
So Ghoul, not Ek, has all the answers Delta Green needs.
Okay.
We'll just summon him and ask him some questions.
So,
all right.
You're going to wrap that up?
We're gonna definitely buy the transcription, right?
Buy the photostat.
The photostat?
Yeah.
Or do we just not want to bother? Because, let's buy it.
Okay. How are you paying for it?
I mean, if Alten's low sanity and obsessiveness makes him go into
I'll write a check
in order to pay for it, I'll let him do that.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. So he thanks you profusely for it. And...
Oh, I will thank him profusely.
No problem. And Mr. Palma says he hopes to see you again.
All right. Well, thank you very much for all your help. And by the way, have you had any? How much interest have you had in that volume? I mean, it's fascinating, but it makes me curious. It must be a very specialized clientele that comes to look at that.
Well, we do have interest from time to time. We have a benefactor who looks towards maintaining Groliers for us. I guess the book has a soft spot in his heart. He enjoys books of that type. He also has a human skin bound 16th century book we occasionally put out, and of that ilk.
Oh, that's fascinating. So, can you tell me who that is?
No, I'm sorry.
Well, does he have an office? Somebody? I mean, I wouldn't want to bother this man.
He really, of course, he doesn't like to be involved in this business.
All right. Well, let's put it. Let's look at it a different way. Are there discussion groups? Clubs that are worth talking to?
We do have a cocktail party 3 times a year. The next one will be up in mid-July. I could put your names in the hat. Most likely, that would require you joining the club. There's a retainer. It's quite pricey.
and my friend and I will probably not be in town anymore by that time anyway. I'm afraid that's too bad.
So there's no way to get a peek at that book.
The 16th century book?
16th century book.
It's not on site right now, I'm afraid.
Oh, it's only in the possession of the gentleman.
And he smiles in a way that suggests he doesn't want to confirm or deny it's a gentleman.
It would. There's not any way you could put us in contact with this person. It would be an immense help.
Well, if your boss told you not to do something, and doing that thing involved calling your boss to tell him you had just done the thing he had told you not to do when he first hired you, you could see my position.
I understand. It's disappointing, but I understand.
Anyway, thank you for the business, and please come back anytime.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Palma.
Okay. He shakes hands. And you guys exit to find Tygnal and Greene pull back up. Tygnal, you drank a lot of water. You relieved yourself. You still feel crummy.
Like nauseous or what?
Nauseous. Can you make an alertness roll for me?
Happy to. Did I just roll that?
No, I did.
Oh.
I'll take that.
I'll take that roll. Oh yeah, I got it.
Okay. When you went to the McDonald's, you felt better?
Yeah.
Now that you're back at
Not a phrase
Grolier's,
that's heard very often.
yeah, at Grolier's, you feel worse.
I feel worse at the bookstore?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Is this visible enough that Greene notices and pieces that together?
Do you want to make an alertness roll, Greene?
Sure.
Or would Human do it by any chance? You might be better.
Human could too. Yeah. Yeah, Human could work.
All right.
55.
Oh, critical.
Critical success or a critical failure?
It's a critical success on alertness.
Okay, then you're fine. Yeah, you notice Tygnal
Getting queasy when we come back.
Yeah, she seemed better when she got back in the car from the McDonald's, and as you drove, you notice she becomes more and more visibly uncomfortable. And when you're outside of Grolier's, she's sweating and looks ill.
Okay, are they walking out now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna observe her as we drive away and see if she improves.
Okay. Yeah, she definitely does. The further you get away from Grolier's, the better you feel, Tygnal.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna bring this up to everybody.
Okay. So as you guys drive back to the,
let's circle around. Let's circle around and go back to Grolier's.
Okay.
Feeling crappy again?
Yeah.
Well, we have some correlation here. I think we.
Yeah. So Tygnal is close.
Stop that.
Tygnal is close to vomiting now.
No, we'll drive away then.
Okay.
Yes.
Shane, what's going on?
Could be technical.
Uh-oh.
So in that case, it's too late, right? It's after 6 or so.
Yeah.
We don't want to do anything with that at the house because it's too dangerous in the dark. I think they're going to want to run their Acadian by their expert at NYU or wherever it was. So I think the hotel is the best bet for the moment.
Okay, you need a new hotel.
Did we stay at one last night or no?
It's way out there on the island.
Okay, so we will go try to find a new hotel that's nearer to the center of operations.
All right. I'm going to mention just, I don't know how those people found us before, but I'm concerned that there's that they can somehow track us or trace us.
Yeah, that's reasonable. That's a reasonable concern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
Well, I want to make sure that where we stay, it's not on a second floor. We have a really easy escape out.
Okay.
Really close.
Okay, no problem.
If I go buy some really big flashlights.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. No problem. Okay, so you guys load up and end up at the Days Inn in South Ozone Park.
South Ozone Park. That sounds promising.
I had
just near JFK. It's like across the street.
I had to step away for a second. So what did I miss the last couple of minutes?
So we're gonna stay at a, what is it, a Motel 6? What was it?
It's a Days Inn.
Near the airport.
So
yeah, for the night.
Shane, were you there?
Like 6 o'clock.
Were you there when we established that the proximity to Groliers made
Tygnal sick?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
All right. And
so
did I hear that? Did somebody did you? Pardon me. Did you buy supplies of some kind?
Just lights, big flashlights.
Well, we're concerned that maybe there's some way that they can track us since they found us so handily last night.
Mm-hmm.
Those things. So
wherever we go to buy flashlights, I want to see if I can buy some 5-gallon, or either a gallon or 5-gallon jerry cans.
Okay.
Yes. I was going to suggest the same.
Yeah, no problem.
And flares.
Yeah,
some of those
that's easy
instant
too.
flares that you go whack and it lights up really dramatically.
Yeah, that's no problem either.
Just in case we get lost somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe some handy glass bottles. Or if they don't have that, then I guess we can just buy a 6-pack of beer somewhere.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can find glass bottles pretty easily. You go shopping at a place called TSS, Times Square Stores. It's like a Target. It's filled with a bunch of crap.
Mm-hmm. They have an aisle for your Molotov cocktail supplies.
They have everything you can need except gasoline.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys retire to the Days Inn after purchasing this stuff with the instructions of finding a place that is an easy escape, is not on the second floor. Are you going to all share a single room, or do 2 rooms or 3 rooms, or what?
I think 1 room's a better bet for now.
Okay, so you guys set up with a room that opens onto a second room, two doubles in each room. On the ground floor.
I'm bringing inside the bag with the shotgun in it, by the way.
Okay, so
put all my flares and supplies in there.
What? Describe what's going on this evening.
Oh Jesus! I mean, drink some of that beer I bought and try to tune everything out. And I guess, do we sleep in shifts? Are we that paranoid, or do we just
I think I'm gonna just skip the beer and go for coffee and try to stay awake a good while. I want to keep an eye on her for one thing, make sure she's not doing worse again.
I guess we can prop open the door between the 2 rooms.
Yeah, I'm going to be reading that book now that I have a chance to actually go through it in detail.
Okay, Alten, you're going to read all evening, basically, and let me get that book up. Hang on.
You're going to be tired in the morning?
Morning's never coming. Sorry. Did I say that out loud? Sorry about that. I didn't mean it. Hang on, I got to find something.
This is the decaf.
Beats.
Okay, so you got to roll SAN on this.
Oh boy,
that's never gone wrong for this guy.
Take your
wait.
By the way, should we have had to roll sanity for killing those
that's a critical failure.
Oh, geez.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Shane. What did you say?
Well, it may be kind of superfluous at this point, but I was asking if we should have lost sanity for that big gunfight.
I think we did sanity.
We rolled for it.
For all the violence? Okay. All right.
Hang on. Run D4. So. Okay. 2 points, Alten. So you find a section in there in the book which describes it's talking about general it's a metaphor. It's speaking about liquids and pouring a liquid from a vessel into a smaller vessel, and then that liquid propagating in the vessel, and then being able to pour that into multiple other vessels. So it's almost a play on the whole Jesus water into wine thing. And it's written in a very...
I'm not sure how metaphorical they mean that.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that.
So you're reading this, and it sounds very familiar to you in a disturbing way, because it describes the worshipers all being afflicted and touched and suffering from bodily sores and other weird things like that, and that's a blessing. So anyway, you're reading this, and you get to that point where you're looking at this prayer, and you're looking at the prayer you found on page 90, and you're reading you're reading over it in your head, basically. And when you cross over the Eso Gol Na Ek, Tygnal sits up in bed suddenly. And you're completely startled by this. This all happens in utter silence in the room. You're reading this in your head, and she sits up as you finish going over that word. Tygnal, you've had a very vivid dream of the disaster house and the man who came to see you, and you get a very strong feeling that he's no longer that man, but he's still looking for you.
Brings on a cold sweat.
Okay, so Alten, you jump. Greene, you're still up.
I'm watching her. So.
Okay, she just seemed to flip out. Alten seemed disturbed by her jumping in the bed.
Yeah. Just, hey, oh, it's Emily. Sorry, I thought it was the dog. Yeah, I'm
scared.
One of the dogs.
Yeah, I just had like a really bad dream. Sorry.
Okay, and Killian, what are you doing? You're sleeping?
Yeah, unless something wakes me.
Okay. Okay, so Alten, by about 4:30 in the morning, you're done.
Is there anything
you're exhausted. Just cut your
heads off of people being any part of these rituals?
No. Although the god,
the cork out of the bottle that they're pouring the liquid.
The stuff you learn from the book is this book is basically, it talks about a god who controls life and death, and then you realize now that having skipped around that you weren't reading it properly. The second section of the book is about a completely different god, and that's Esa Golanak. And this second god is kind of muscling in on the first god. So the whole second half of the book is kind of like, forget that, all that other stuff that I wrote in these other books and the beginning of this book. I just had a dream, and this is fucking important. Then it's just a bunch of rituals. And you've read all that, +3 to unnatural.
+3 to unnatural.
Anyway.
Now.
Yeah. Okay, so Tygnal, you sleep the rest of the night. You guys crash. Alten, you lose half your willpower. You're exhausted. If you want to crash, you can sleep and regain it normally. But by the time you go to bed, it's beginning to be the sun is coming up.
All right. Well, I'll sleep as much as the rest of the group will let me.
Okay. So you collapse. You all wake up. It's the next morning, June 6th, D-Day.
Change my bandages.
Okay. Yeah, your skin is, black and blue and doesn't look infected yet.
Mm-hmm.
But so Tygnal, when you're taking care of your normal morning routine, you're going to the bathroom and something hurts.
In my rectum, my bowels,
your bowels.
Okay.
Are you gonna tell anybody? Are you gonna do anything?
Well, are they going to be able to tell when I open the door?
You're
light a candle, or
you're in the bathroom alone right now.
You're that trip to McDonald's.
You're sitting on the toilet, and everything seemed normal, and then suddenly there's a wrenching pain in your midsection.
Can I move to get up?
Do you want to get up? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a sanity roll.
What's in the toilet?
One of my least favorite places to have to roll sanity.
Okay, roll.
I'm hardened to seeing atrocities in the toilet bowl.
Okay. Okay, 1 point. Okay, when you stand up, you have a very strong feeling of something uncoiling out of you.
Oh dear.
And then you hear a kerflop in the toilet, and then long after anything should be moving, you hear the water kind of tentatively move, but you can't see it. You're not looking at it.
Look at it.
You're
I'm looking at it.
You're gonna go look in the toilet?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
That's good.
On the upside, you suddenly feel a lot better. Anyway, okay, we'll go into combat now. Sorry.
So nobody's noticed, with my at that. Okay.
No. You're going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to shout for help, that's one thing.
I don't know what kind of PMs you have in the morning.
Like they said, you ate all those Big Macs yesterday. Everybody was probably just waiting for this.
Can you give me your dex? What is it?
My dex is 10.
Okay, and you want to give me your luck roll? Just roll under 50.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, your gun is in your holster, hanging on the back of the door.
Okay, good. I have it. I'm getting it.
Okay, so let's get down to this.
What is it?
Oh, okay. So, something comes out of the toilet. It's coiled like a snake, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's blue-black. It's fast. And you're not expecting it to come out of the toilet the way it comes out of you're expecting something to kind of...
Yeah. But
it just literally shoots out of the toilet and hits the ground with a wet slap. It's big. It's like maybe 7 or 8 pounds.
Oh God! Okay.
And it moves across the floor towards the back of the toilet and disappears behind the toilet. You have the gun out like this. You're shoved in maybe a 5 foot wide bathroom with a single window, and here's the shower, and there's the toilet, and you're just kind of like there's pissy water all over the ground now, but you're not wearing any shoes. You're halfway changed. You're holding your gun at this thing.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay. Well, it's behind the toilet. Are you just gonna open up on it?
I'm gonna go and try to try and get it, shoot it.
Okay, so you inch down kind of to find it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want him to open the door yet because I'm gonna try and shoot it. This is a nightmare.
Oh,
it's not so bad. This isn't a nightmare. Okay, yeah, that's a nightmare. Okay, so you go, and you're having a really hard time telling where the shadow is and where this thing is.
Yeah.
You don't see it initially, and then you realize it's kind of hanging off the bottom of the porcelain. You can't get a very clear look at it. And just as you do that, you're looking at it, you see lighter points on the creature, whatever it is, blink. So one blinks, and then another blinks, and then a third.
Okay.
And just as you're kind of taking bead, you hear a squishy convulsion come from the thing, and the gun, your hands, the front of your shirt are all covered in some sort of sticky shit. It smells awful. It smells like crap that's been sitting in a bucket for weeks. It's black as tar. Let me see what it does. Hang on. You take 1 hit point damage, and then we'll. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, your gun is full of this gunk.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm covered in black, whatever.
Yeah,
okay.
it smells awful. Actually, give me a sand roll on that.
Oh, you're holding it together pretty well.
Okay. Yeah, you don't lose anything. It's you would guess this is like feces or meconium or something.
Mm-hmm. Diarrhea of some sort.
So you're going like, oh, like.
Yeah, I am.
Alertness rolls, everybody.
Yeah, I'm also, while they're doing that, I mean, I'm looking for a towel, something I can throw over it or something.
I'm asleep.
Oh, hell no, I'm out.
Killian?
This is all you, Tig.
So you guys are watching Soul Train or something.
All right, well, yeah, I'm is there a towel or anything? Something
Yeah, there's a pile of new towels.
Like, get a towel and throw it over since it's spewing shit at me.
Okay, so you throw it.
Isn't working. Yeah, I'm gonna try to. Yeah.
Okay, so you managed to kind of throw a towel and drape it over a portion of the toilet. There's a bit of the towel in the toilet. It's wet. There's a bit of the towel on top of the bathtub next to it, but you've made a little tent that kind of covers the spitting area of this thing, and you're assuming it's still back there. It's going to make its roll. Okay. Silence.
Yeah, I'm gonna bang on the bathroom door.
Okay, you guys all hear this. There's sudden eruption of
Hey!
I must have gone. Shit. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to I'm not taking my eyes off of the toilet area, but I'm gonna try to open the door so I can get some help in here.
So you okay in there?
Yeah.
So who's the first to respond?
Who's got the highest dex?
Let's see.
I think Alten does.
Not me.
13.
Yeah, that's you.
Okay. So Let's add Alten. Okay, so only one or two people can kind of shove their way in. One person could stand in the door, another person could enter the room, but it's going to limit options for the other. The two people in there are not going to be able to move very well.
Yeah, so I'm immediately going to start yelling at him. There's a creature. There's something behind that toilet that's spewing out this foul shit.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull my gun and the door.
Okay. So just for firearms' sake, you are facing a cement wall. So hopefully, you won't kill anybody on the other side. But it's probably another bathroom on the other side. Anyway, can I get alertness rolls from Tygnal and Alten? Killian and Greene are at the door, kind of going like,
"What the fuck?"
Yeah, I'm alert. I am alert.
No.
Okay. So Tygnal, you see it creeping around the far side of the toilet bowl, low to the ground. What you're looking at looks like an earthworm, maybe. But the way it moves is it seems to extrude smaller worms from its body at random positions and then kind of pull itself up the porcelain. So
is it so it's smaller and more pieces than when I last saw it?
No, you're looking at the end of it, and it's wrapping around the bottom of the bowl. So Alten, you don't see any movement from below the towel she's talking about, but you do see she's covered in crap. That looks like a toilet exploded or something.
Does it look like the kind of stuff they found in the car of the victim?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it does actually.
So I don't see the thing she's talking about.
It's below a towel. She believes it's there. So Tygnal, you see it. You're got the gun kind of pointing at it. Are you going to shoot it?
Well, your gun's cramped up, isn't it?
No, well, my gun is still like crapped up, right?
It's filled with gook. You could give it a shot.
I'm gonna try to.
Can I say something to her before she, like, if I see her looking at her gun and about to aim it, and I say, "Whoa,
Yes.
wait."
What?
Okay, so hold on. Dennis, were we able to get gasoline last night?
No, just the
flares.
The flares in the container. There's gas in the car.
Yeah.
It'll take a little while to get out, though. I don't know if
yeah.
kind of time.
Yeah, I ain't got that kind of time. I gotta kill this thing.
Well, we have what do we have? We have some flares.
Yep.
Right? See if you can just, I don't know, catch it in the trash can, and we'll hold it in place in the bathtub with a burning towel and a flare. How about that?
All right.
Then we don't shoot holes in the place, and
can
if the cops called
get to
out
the
on
trash
us again.
can? I assume it's cheap metal.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to try to slam it down on top of where the towel is.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna need unarmed combat roll. Trash can does not count as a weapon.
So unarmed.
Okay.
Yeah.
60%. So here we go.
That's pretty good. And it's gonna roll.
Oh, nice.
That's his roll. That's the creatures.
Oh, is that the creatures roll?
I got it. Says I rolled a 20.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Nice, so.
Okay, so you something is under the towel. That's for certain because you slam it down on the towel, and you see a black rope-like thing rise up behind the towel and start swinging. You have a front portion of it pinned, and whatever the thing is in the back, it's like a snake or. Do you want to give me a sand roll?
No, but I guess I will. Oh,
that is
critical failure.
Critical failed sand rolls.
Here we go. Roll 1 d6. Okay. 3 points.
All right.
And
Remember the magic of projection.
Yes.
oh fuck. Okay.
right.
It's on Alten's face.
Ah!
It literally just shot straight up, and Tygnal, you clearly saw it. Tygnal's head's in the way, Killian, but you saw something black, and you would swear spider-like jump through the air, but it's dragging a tail. Greene, give me a sand roll. You saw the whole thing.
Oh God.
Can I be fumbling for a couple of those flares?
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Okay, you lose 1 sand point. You
Okay.
see if someone grew an earthworm to be about 4.5 feet long, with dozens of other worms sticking out of it in random positions, and then that thing suddenly shot up into the air like it was spring loaded and opened in a web with teeth. That's what you saw land on Alten.
I'm scrambling to get one of the flares.
Well, so
Okay.
Killian's getting a flare.
Yeah.
So Alten, let's see. It's gonna make. Okay.
What the hell?
It's like super thing.
Okay, 1 hit point damage. You see this black spider-like thing shoot out, and then you can't see anything, and you can't breathe, and then a warm, disgusting fluid flushes up your nose and in your mouth, and it the closest you've ever been to something that kind of smells and feels like this is when you had food poisoning so bad you threw up until you literally felt like you couldn't throw up anymore, and at one point you woke up choking on your own vomit. It feels very much like that. And then the thing drops off your face, but you're running around just shrieking, spitting out blue-white chunks of this horrible stuff in the room. Alten, give me a luck roll. Tygnal, give me a luck roll. Killian, you have the flares. 3? Okay. Tygnal, Alten almost connects with you in the face, like spinning around, freaking out. He almost knocks you flat, but you back up and he goes wide. Alten, did you make a roll? 38?
38.
Okay, you don't lose your balance, you don't fall down, you're still standing, and you look back at Killian and Greene like,
What
the fuck?
His eyes are bright red. There's this blue-white mush falling out of his mouth. And you all realize the thing has dropped off him and is on the floor somewhere amidst everybody's legs and the towels and all the...
Right.
So
I want to see if I can grab Alten's arm and drag him out of the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah, you can easily do that. You do so... Hang on. This is independent of that. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, Killian. Flare, you have the flare. Tygnal.
I'm frantically trying to light it.
Okay. Alten has been dragged out of the bathroom. Tygnal, you realize you've lost sight of the thing.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
so,
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to continue looking for it, but I'm going to grab one of the flashlight, because I imagine it's going to go for a dark place. That's in my experience. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, you're going to have to go out of the bathroom to get it.
Coming out of the bathroom to do that.
Okay, so very quickly, what happens? Killian's lighting this flare, finally lights. Alten is dragged out, kind of hanging, spitting this stuff up. Greene has dragged him out into the double wide room, and Tygnal has hopped out into the room as well and has grabbed one of the flashlights and turned it on and kind of turned back around to flash it at the door. You're looking at a quiet, the door is banging slightly. There's crap all over the floor. It's silent. You're all, except for the flare, which is kind of hissing. Actually, Killian, give me a luck roll. Okay, you realize you're holding the flare up, and you shouldn't. You cover it and pull it down away from the fire suppression system. But it's still going, and you're all like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
it's basically...
I'm kind of hunkered down with it because I'm expecting something on the ground is going to need burning.
Okay. So, what are you guys going to do next?
I'm looking, like, I'm going to frantically look for this thing, like look under the bed with the light and all the dark spaces.
I guess I'll collect the trash can as well.
So you're going in the bathroom?
Is that where the trash can is?
Yes.
Then, that's where the thing was.
Then yeah, so I'm going in the bathroom to get the trash can and ready to burn something.
Okay, hang on. Okay. So Killian very carefully tiptoes into the bathroom. What you see in the bathroom is horrific tracks of black ichor from the toilet, blue-white vomit type stuff all over the ground, a towel smashed to the ground, a tipped over steel trash can. The shower, the shade on the shower is partially pulled. You don't see the thing you saw, halfway saw. But, you know, are you going to reach down and go to grab the pail?
Yeah, I want to pick up the trash can so I have something to try to trap it with.
Okay, give me a Dex ×5 roll on that. You're trying to do it fast, I assume.
Yeah, I'm assuming something's going to jump up and try to stick in my face at any time. No.
Okay, well, you grab the trash can. You lose your footing a little bit on the vomit.
Mm-hmm.
Your feet are covered in it now.
Mm-hmm.
But you're holding the trash can. The towel is empty. There's nothing underneath it. There's nothing behind the toilet. There's nothing in the trash can. And as far as you can see, there's nothing in the bathroom.
Okay, so I'll sort of stumble out of there.
Okay.
See what's happening with the rest of them. Keeping
they're all
the flare low, ready for action.
Okay. So, how are you going to do this, guys?
Where the fuck is it?
You have to start looking, using the flashlights, looking around under things and every dark corner. And
okay, so is the team the team's splitting up into little groups and kind of covering corners of the room, or okay? The phone begins to ring. So the room phone is now ringing.
Oh, great! All right, I'll answer
it. Okay, and you hear a gruff voice saying, "We've received several noise complaints about your room. Can you please keep the noise down?"
Sure. Certainly. Sorry, things just got a little raucous. Yes, sorry.
Okay, so you hang it up, and you guys are looking under the bed. There's nothing under the bed. You're basically, you flip the bed. You're like, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Going through the mattresses and piling them in the corner, trying to kind of keep an area of like, it's not there, and you're shining lights and everything like that.
The closet, where it's dark.
Yeah. You open the closet. There's a fold down like ironing board. You don't see anything in there. There's plastic bits. There's like a Mr. Coffee in the corner. Okay. You've searched high and low for this thing. And then the phone begins to ring again.
All right, I'll answer it again.
Okay. Can I get alertness rolls?
This is me?
Everybody.
I'm saying this one's me versus her. Yep, I make it.
Mine, no success.
Nice.
I fail.
Okay.
Oh, I pass, yeah.
Okay, so Alten, the phone's ringing. Again, you've cleaned out your mouth. Tygnal, the phone's ringing again, but it sounds strange. Killian and Greene, the phone is ringing, but it sounds far away.
I'll kind of look at Greene like, what the heck's that all about?
Do we have so describe the room situation again. What was our escape route? Because I'd like to escape.
There's a door that literally leads to the parking lot. Your car is parked in front of the room. So the room you're looking at is plasterboard walls, except for the bathroom wall, which is cement. And then a door that opens onto the mirror room. But it's on the opposite side. So whoever's on the far side of your bathroom is another client if that room's occupied. Right. The ceiling is particle board. The stuff's piled in the corner. The room's completely destroyed.
Right. Well, I'm heading for the front door. I mean.
Okay. So you open the door.
Yeah.
Okay. So Greene disappears out the door and slams.
Yeah, so. All right, maybe we should need to get out of here.
I've seen that before. That weird sound thing. Yeah.
Well, you didn't say anything on your way out. Just
no.
Yeah, it's the.
I didn't even notice anything.
Sorry. I'm going now.
I'm just looking around like, what happened to Greene?
Yeah, Greene's out in the sunlight. He feels good.
All right.
All right.
Well, I guess I'll drop the trash can and I don't know, put the trash can and start pushing Alten out towards the door, towards the sunlight as well.
The book. Don't forget the book.
I'll deal with the book.
Yeah.
I'll toss the flare out there and get the book and throw it in the bag with the other essentials.
Okay.
Very
Killian, give me an int ×5 roll.
Who? Everybody?
Just Killian.
Oh.
You're the last one in. Everybody's outside.
That's ominous.
No, good then.
Yeah, okay. The ceiling is a plasterboard ceiling held in place by metal slats. If you press up, the tiles open onto a recessed area
Right.
So you're basically shoving stuff in a bag,
yeah,
and you look up and go, "Oh,
yeah.
fuck."
Yeah. All right. Where'd I drop that damn flare?
And you still have your flare.
Okay. I'm gonna call out Greene.
Yeah, I'll hobble back to the door.
Yeah, Killian, your connection is kind of crap. You might want to reconnect.
Is it okay? Is it me?
Yeah, just you.
All right.
So Greene comes back to the door.
Yeah, I'll sort of point up to the ceiling so we can cooperate in investigating.
Okay.
Even though that's probably going to be something we'll regret. Hold on, I'm going to try to. My computer's being sluggish. Let me try to reconnect.
Yeah, it's just you. We're going to end pretty soon anyway, one way or another.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have grabbed one of those flash.
Well, it's morning, so it's
but up in the
right. Yeah.
So Greene and Killian are in the room, yes, and Tygnal and Alten are outside.
Out in the bright sunlight.
Okay, Alten, you feel much better once you get all the stuff out of your mouth. You're bought a soda and you're kind of washing out your mouth and spitting it out. You feel ill, but you're not too surprised by feeling ill. Killian and Greene shove the book outside with you, and you're holding onto a big plastic bag with these photostatic copies in it, just kind of like sitting on the edge of a car in the bright sunlight. Killian and Greene, you're in a darkened room. There's a light on in the bathroom. You have flashlights. You have the flare, Killian. Greene, you've been alerted to the fact that there's a recessed ceiling. What are you doing?
Well, I'll get a lamp or something that I can use to poke the ceiling panels up.
Yeah. Okay. So
I've got the flashlight, so I'm shining a light up there. You've got the flare, so be ready to, burn anything you see.
I'll pick up the pail again. Dual wield it.
okay. Okay. So you guys are all like
Ready.
So Greene is holding a lamp. The cord reaches. Where are you gonna kind of push up into the ceiling?
I'll just do it sort of systematically. Start in one corner if we can, and just sort of poke out the panels. Just knock them out so they come out.
Okay.
See which one has resistance.
Okay, so you hit the first one. Okay, and something moves across the ceiling.
Up in the drop ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you putting the lamp up there?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you shove the lamp kind of at its limit in the cord and shove it in there, and now you can see kind of dimly lit boxes around the edging of all the tiles for a distance, and you hear something skittering up in the dark.
Can we tell where it is?
Kind of.
I'm going to drag the chair in the room, over the panels I've knocked out, and get up on the chair with the flashlight and get up in there and flashlight around in there.
Okay. So you're going to stand with your head in the tile recess. Yeah. Okay, that's really brave.
Of course.
For you.
Okay. So,
be ready to duck.
You got the flashlight.
Yeah.
You can see the lamp on the other side of the room lighting this cobwebbed area. You can see the pipes coming down from the fire suppression system. You can see just ratty old bundles of hair and shit piled everywhere. And the recess is about a foot deep. On top of it is cement. And you're shining the light around. And basically, you don't see it.
All right, I'll tell Killian that. I don't see it up here.
Are you going to come down and tell him, or just stay there?
I'm going to stay where I am and say it.
Okay.
Is there any part of that area that he wouldn't be able to see from where he is?
Yeah, I mean, when you shine the light like that, it's tons of shadows are cast by all the bars, by anything. So every time you do this, you're seeing pitch black, wide areas of just nothing.
We don't hear the skittering anymore?
No. And Killian, give me an alertness roll.
Yay, success.
Okay. So, it rolled 72. You hear a thump behind you.
All right, I'm going to turn around, ready to burn something.
Okay. Okay, it launches itself at you. It's a black snake. It's maybe 4.5 feet long.
Can I trash can it?
You can try. Give me a Dex times 5, or a unarmed combat roll, and it's going to dodge.
Yeah, I think they might both be the same for me.
Oh, nice. You may just survive.
Oh, hold on. I'm calling up my character.
So Greene, you hear this? You're
definitely unarmed.
Well, I'll definitely look down from out of the ceiling.
Okay.
That succeeds, actually.
Oh, okay. So
FBI training.
Basically, you have the flare in one hand and the metal trash can turned outward in the other hand. And as it leaps towards your face, you go, here, dunk, and the trash can jumps in your hand.
Yeah.
But it's way too big to be just in the trash can.
Right. If I have any control at all, I'm wanting to slam the can down on the floor to exert whatever control over the nastiness we can.
Okay, so give me a strength ×5 roll, and it
darn it.
will.
I am not good at strength ×5 rolls.
Oh,
But I'm
Nice.
inspired.
Okay. Okay, so you slam it down. You hear it emit kind of a weird trilling sound that you would guess is pain as you slam the can down, but the back end of it immediately scuttles up like a scorpion and starts lashing around.
That's what
so
the
you
flare is
have it-
for. Come on, buddy.
Yeah.
I can play this game.
You have it pinned, so you have it one hand down on this pot.
right.
You're holding it in place. You're holding a flare like this, and it is
Yeah.
moving around in a manner that indicates it's going to take a shot at your face.
Greene.
So,
I'm shining the light on them if it does anything.
okay, you shine the light on it, and it doesn't really
It does respond.
react to it.
Can I hold the flare
so-
out in front of me like a crucifix while I'm holding this thing down?
Yeah. So, I mean, do you want to attack with the flare? Do you want to kind of stick it with the flare?
My main goal right now is to not be scorpioned or impregnated. So I figure I'm using the flare to kind of try to hold it at bay, and if that involves burning it, then so much the better.
Okay, so we'll see where it's at. 71. Okay, yeah, it's swinging wildly at you. It's much less
Greene.
focused in its combat. Greene hops down from the chair.
I'll hop down from the chair.
And with all this noise, I'm going back in because
Okay, Tygnal opens the
Yeah, the
door.
hotel people are not going to be any happier with us.
Noise is not a big-
Can you imagine cleaning this up?
Oh,
No.
we aren't going to get our deposit back.
You ever wonder what happens in hotel rooms?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
okay, so this thing is it's swiping at you. It's not doing these kind of targeted attacks. Tygnal opens the door. It turns immediately, and Tygnal, you're face to face with this black snake thing. You heard the shouting. You open the door, and literally, when you open the door, what you see is this thing swing out towards you, and
Oh my God.
you back up, and you see Killian holding a flare, kind of squatting on it, and Greene is somewhere in the back with a pistol, kind of holding it up so it doesn't shoot Killian in the back.
The shotguns are in that bag.
Okay, the phone begins to ring in the room.
No, ignore that.
Okay, Killian, give me a luck roll.
God damn it. I'm doing my part here, people.
No. We are
Okay, Greene, you hear click, and then tss, and water starts pouring out all over the room.
Shit.
up. Flicker flew.
Okay, Alten and Tygnal outside, these lit alarms start going off. And you hear whoop, 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 whoop. It's a fire alarm.
Oh God.
People start coming out of their rooms.
All right, I'm gonna start. I'm
Yes.
trying to rummage around in the bag where the supplies are and the shotgun. Is there anything besides a shotgun in there? Any like a? What do we have in that bag?
There's jerry cans, there's metal
Yeah.
glass bottles, there's like a bunch of standard crap.
I have a
I guess I'm gonna grab.
I have a
shotgun and-
poncho and spare clothes.
No, I'm looking for something like a tool, and something to hit it or cut it, or I guess I'm gonna take the shotgun and try to smash it with the butt if I can, if it's on the ground, like right where it's coming out under the bucket. He's holding it under.
Okay, so it will attack Killian again and fail.
And I'm gonna start shouting at the people coming out, saying, "Just get as far away from as you can. It's an alarm. Get out! Get out! Get out!"
Okay, give me a persuade roll.
All right. Let me persuade again.
You guys, it's like the Three Stooges here.
It is.
Okay. Okay.
It's great.
43 is success.
Yay.
Okay, Alten, you may or may not have said like a fire or something, and they all look kind of bored and half asleep. And when you're done talking, they've all crossed the parking lot and have gone across the street, and are watching their rooms kind of as the alarm goes off. You hear a fire engine in the distance.
Already? God, these guys are fast.
Yeah. Well, they're everywhere. So
Yeah.
Greene, Killian, you're soaking wet. your visibility is down. This thing has taken a swipe at Killian twice. Greene, you have the shotgun. What are you gonna do?
At this point, I'm just gonna have to shoot
We
it.
need to kill it.
Fuck
And
it,
get
kill the
it.
thing.
I'm gonna
Okay.
put the barrel. So he's got it. It's held down. One end of
Yeah.
it's held down the thing. I'm just gonna put the barrel of the shotgun right up next to the part that's coming out from under the bucket and shoot.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so it will get one attack at Greene.
Okay.
As Greene approaches.
Oh,
Oh, there's that.
yeah.
Can
Can I
he
dodge
try
that?
Can he try
Yeah,
to
you
dodge?
can. Yeah, definitely.
No. That's in fact a critical fail.
Oh,
This is terrible.
Yeah.
This is the 3 speed.
Okay. So, Killian,
Yeah.
Greene's like, hold it. And you see the shotgun come into frame above his head. And then he kind of turns it down. He's like trying to get in front of you. You're holding the flare out. You're kneeling on this bucket, which is shaking all over the place. And this thing is swinging. And it suddenly just points back and just goes straight at Greene. Greene goes, the shotgun goes up in the air, lands on the ground. Greene is knocked back. You take 4 points damage. It managed to puncture your chest.
Wow.
And the shotgun's on the ground. There's water everywhere. You can see it. There's water kind of sizzling off it. Killian, give me another strength times 5 roll.
God.
That's like
Success.
You made it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So the bucket,
God
like,
damn it.
bucks in your hand, and you lean down on your elbow with this thing.
Mhm.
Greene fell flat. You don't know if he's dead or what.
Right.
The shotgun hit the ground. You heard it. It's behind you.
Dig.
Yeah,
Okay, so,
I'm making a dash for the shotgun.
okay, so Tygnal opens the door and runs in, and let's see. Okay. The thing doesn't notice you. Tygnal, you skid out, land on your butt. You're holding the shotgun. You're about 3 feet from this thing. Killian is next to it, very close to it, like scary close to it.
Don't muzzle me.
I'm gonna try not to shoot him, but I'm gonna shoot at the trash can.
Okay.
Ah.
Sorry.
Give me the roll.
Okay.
what's your firearms?
Good luck, Killian.
Yeah. Did she get a bonus for it being up close?
I got it.
Oh, you
Yeah.
succeed.
Yeah, that's a success.
Okay, walk a boom. The shotgun goes off. You all hear it. Everybody
Wow.
across the street goes,
Whoa!
give me the damage.
What's a shotgun do, Shane?
2d10.
Nice.
Roll that bad boy.
All right. 2. 10.
Do it.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Technical difficulties.
Okay. Okay. Walk a boom. Tygnal's knocked flat from the recoil. She wasn't standing properly. But you see the thing literally separate into chunks. Killian, the metal pail just goes bong in your hands.
Right.
And you release it, and you see this thing kind of flopping around in 2 different pieces on the ground, bleeding this black liquid out into the water. And it seems to kind of deflate and collapse. Anyway, Tygnal's sitting in the water holding the shotgun in one hand. Killian, you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
There's water pouring down on you. Greene, you slowly sit up holding your chest. It's pouring in here, and basically it's like, fuck. You're all sitting in silence now. This thing's obviously dead.
Alright. We collect it in something and get the hell
In the
out.
bucket.
In the bucket.
Yeah.
Get the
In the
bucket.
trash
I guess.
can.
Scoop it
Pick
in
up
the
its-
trash can with my feet and not letting it touch my skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start the car.
Can I have a luck roll? Whoever wants to roll it, one person.
I'll do it.
All right.
Okay.
And Alten.
Don't fuck this up, Alten.
Oh!
God damn it, Alten.
Okay, so you guys,
I meant Shane would roll.
you guys step out into the parking lot just as the first police cruiser and the fire engine arrive. People across the street are now talking and pointing. I assume you're not carrying the shotgun outdoors.
No.
Okay, you have this thing in this bucket. These cops are maybe 50 yards away from you. So is the fire department. They're all rushing in to kind of get an assessment. We'll leave it here right now.
Sounds good.
Good job staying alive. That could have been much worse.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be much worse.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tygnal. I knew body horror. It's kind of creepy. I hope it didn't upset you guys too much. It's disgusting.
Oh, well,
I love it.
I'm worried about the fact that in a few days we're going to have to do this again when I crap one of these things.
But now we know what's coming. We can prepare the laboratory.
Yes.
You know.
I mean, the really interesting part there is Tygnal was successful in her bid against the infection.
Right.
Yes. Oh God.
This was the good case.
That was a good outcome.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway, cool. We'll play again next week.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye. You guys next time.
Work on that whole, hotel combat. You guys.
Clearly,
It was
Second time.
Yeah.
It was a raucous party that just went too far on us. We're FBI guys. We can talk the cops into cooperating with that. You know how it is, guys. You've been
Quick,
there.
get your story straight. You have about 30 seconds.
Right.
Everybody.
4 agents, 6-pack of beer. Things get crazy.
Yeah.
Got out of hand.
Good night, guys.
All right. Thanks, Dennis. See you guys.